Welcome to another bunch review of Arcane Season 2. My name's English Dave, and help me oil these gauntlets of mine is my co-host, Andrew.
Gladly. What's up, David?
Arcane is back with Season 2 after the massive cliffhanger of Season 1. How long has it been? Forever? 20 years since Season 1?
It feels like 10 years.
Right.
I feel like it wasn't more than 2.
We're here to talk Season 2, Act 1, which comprises of episodes 1 to 3. They are doing a slow release. I'm not sure, did they do this Season 1? Netflix doesn't typically do rollout releases, usually everything at once, but I can't remember if Season 1 was a rollout release.
I feel like these are the things I should know. I also don't, I don't recall.
Yeah, I don't remember. But this is the final season.
Yes,
and
which I like. Normalize ending stories. Please.
Though this was originally pitched as a 5-season show. But then I think they realized, we spend a lot of money per season. I mean, it shows.
Oh, so good.
It shows the money doesn't look wasted. You can see they spent a lot of money on this. Andrew, spoiler free, what did you think of the return to this narrative?
Yeah, man. You know, when you start off with high expectations and then they get exceeded, but not necessarily in the ways that you were coming in expecting. I feel like that's how I feel so far, in a nutshell. I love the show. Arcane's amazing. The depth of the stories, right? Like, all things aside, it has fantastic animation, fantastic fight scenes. Just the story itself, man, it gets to me, it moves me. I feel like it's such a deep quality storyline and cross storylines, and seeing it from different characters' viewpoints. Vi, Jinx, Caitlyn, and others that we'll get into when we're spoiling. Right? They just give you different perspectives of what it would be like to live in this world of theirs. And I just can't wait for this to end. Like I said, I think normalized ending stories. I like to see like a traditional this is a story that has a conclusion. Because so much happens, right? Like it's there's like nuclear attack level issues going on real time in this place. So I'm really enjoying it. I really want to see where some of these storylines end up taking us. There are a lot of new Messiah type characters as well that were introduced that have left me super curious. So I think so far this is just act 1, but like I'm fully sold. I think it's already living up to a hype for me, and I know that there's more to come.
I really enjoy this opening as well. But for the same reasons I enjoy it, it's also the same reason why I am curiously pessimistic. Is that the word I'm looking for? Because one, I'll agree with you. I think the visuals are done really well, the action set pieces, but it's a story that doesn't lean on the action set pieces because, like you said, the story itself is really engaging and deep. So even if you took out the action set pieces, I would still be into it because the story itself, right? It's not one of those where it's like it's all spectacle, no depth. There's depth to the story, and it's one of those stories that we like that deals in and to use a pun, in the gray areas. right. It's everyone is innocent, everyone's guilty. Right. It's not like the set thing, like these are the good guys, these are the bad guys. It does a good job, like good stories do, of making you see points of view and making it hard for you to kind of understand who do you root for. Sometimes you root for one character, sometimes you keep switching, like the story does. And as you get more information, your views on characters and their acts changes and shifts. Right? They fantastic job. My critique comes from, and again, this is just based on not knowing where the future holds for the next 2 acts, is we get a lot of plot in this opening, like a lot of plot, to the point where sometimes someone like me who's like really versed into all these nerd stuff, though I'm not into, I don't, my knowledge of League of Legends is very limited. There's a lot that's happening that I feel like I'm missing. I had to kind of like stop and pause, like who's that character, what's happening, what storyline. Like there's multiple storylines.
I hate it a little bit. Like I wish I could. I'm not kidding. I literally have my Perplexity AI screen
Yeah.
just next to the episodes, right? I'm just like literally AI searching things like as fast as possible. I'm like, who are these? I type character name and just like tell me the lore,
Right, right.
because you can tell it's dense.
Yes, it's super dense and it doesn't like with some, I would go into in spoilers with some characters and some groups of characters are kind of just thrown in there. I'm like, wait, who are they? Who's that? What is this? You know? And so it kind of gets a bit confusing because again, there's so much going on. There's so
Mhm.
many plot points. And again, we'll go into
Yeah.
there's even subtle plot points that are being seeded. And I'm like, whoa, where's that coming from? And again, maybe they'll make it all connect at the by the end of it. But I'm just worried that for a final season, there's not as much focus as I
Yeah.
would think. Again, I could be wrong, and they could have had this thing juggled perfectly. And so we'll see how we feel by the end of the season. That's just my concern for those of us who aren't super versed into the lore, because again, it's
Yeah.
the lore is dense, super deep.
For sure.
Which is a fun thing at times because you get to play in a large sandbox. Anyway, anyway, let's go into
Sorry.
this because again, last season ended on a cliffhanger, but I feel like this act also ends on like this oh shit moment. But we'll talk about it in spoilers. Andrew, let's go into spoilers. All right, so this picks up right
Straight
up,
up, man. Like,
straight up.
which I sorry, I wouldn't say normalize a lot. Normalize the season continuing from where the last one ended, right? You can do a time skip right after, but just let's just get through that. And
Mhm.
yeah, man, Jinx, she really just she is so chaotic.
She's so chaotic yet trying to find herself, you know, and she's even been put as this kind of like I feel like they're almost setting her up as this kind of like leader for the people of Zaun, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she doesn't want that. She doesn't care for that. And then with Jinx, you can tell there's a lot of pain there,
For
right?
sure.
But I'm not quite sure exactly what she wants because there's times where you see that she's super unhinged.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have moments with her and I don't think we get a name for him, the seemingly mute orphan kid, right? At first, she doesn't
Yeah,
seem to
her
care, but
little
then
Padawan.
she seems to almost like when you're I mean, I'm an older sibling, but like I feel like having a younger sibling have to take care of someone younger, you get a different perspective, and it's almost like it's setting that up. And she even
Mm.
stops this kid from shooting Vi.
Yep, yeah, yeah. At the end.
Yeah.
Mm.
So what do you think of Jinx in this opening, her relationship with her sister and her new relationship, at least with Sevica? It's almost like the way Vi replaced her sister with Kate. Now
Mhm.
Jinx is replacing her sister with Sevica. What do you think of Jinx so far?
'Cause everybody needs a connection, right?
Right.
And yeah, this season definitely was setting up this like sisters growing apart, but going head to head, right?
Hmm.
Almost like if Serena and Venus Williams went apart and found other sisters and played doubles tennis. Um, but Jinx, she's such an interesting character because I guess you can see, just to say it now, she's almost like in ways a female Joker. Um, if this was Batman, but I think as you were saying pre-podcast, with more emotion, um, and her emotions are fragmented. I think she's gotten a few shots of the juice, right,
Hmm.
to bring her back from the brink of death. So she's definitely not all there, but like I because before the season I did a quick recap of season one. Just the scene with her setting up the bomb that killed half the gang, and Vi just telling her like,
You're
yeah,
Jinx.
yeah. It was so emotional, and I feel like she's been broken since then, and then she got built up to be this like a little baddie, I guess, in
Hmm.
in the underworld. Um, but like I think you mentioned it, it's like I don't know what her plan is long term, but it's clear that she has like a revolution type mindset, right? She may not be trying to become the queen of the underworld, but she does want to topple that.
Is it so much? Is it so much revolution, or like your Joker connection? She just wants to see the world burn.
But which she did say, didn't she? Didn't she
Yep.
say
Yep.
that?
Yep.
She literally quoted. So, but which is my point. I mean, she definitely wants to see things torn down.
Yes.
Not that she cares. She will burn money. She's like, I'm not here for the title or the crown.
It's not a revolution as in like she doesn't care to help the people of Zon.
No,
rise up.
no, no,
Even though
no,
she may be
no.
placed as that character, she doesn't care about that. At least right now.
Like not at all. But maybe who knows? Maybe that's where she takes herself. I'm curious. I'm curious
Mhm,
as to the direction
mhm,
we're going to end up, right? Because of, like you said, the breadcrumb with um this little Padawan that she now
mhm,
has is
mhm,
almost, giving her this sense of responsibility,
mhm,
or
mhm,
forcing her to start to think of things other than herself, right? Which is like some forced character growth for her. And I feel like just even her scenes with Vi, you can tell she's gone, right? Like by the end of it, Vi finally kind of accepts that, all
mhm,
right, you're not my sister anymore. You are Miss Joker.
mhm.
Um, I feel like I I expect that their relationship is going to get worse, but there's also going to be a part where they come together, right? And maybe fight a third baddie or an external force. Like I don't know that I'm convinced that they're both going to be fighting each other for the entirety of this
No, no,
this
no.
season.
I think the third episode kind of alludes that there's still a bit of powder in there,
Hmm.
right? Because when again, she stops the kid from shooting Vi in the face,
Yeah.
and there's something that holds her back, and it's almost like when you care, you always say I don't care.
Hey, yep.
I don't care about that. I don't
The
care.
more
I
you
don't care.
care, the more you say I don't usually
Yeah,
even.
and that's how I feel that she with her.
Hmm.
I mean, to see where it's going. Let's talk about Vi. You're right. Obviously, you touched on Vi kind of accepting that her sister is gone, and I don't know if she's fully accepted. I think also seeing how Vi reacts with the kid. I'm seeing how Jinx reacts to the kid. There was little, even though she says to Kate, there's a kid there. I'm worried about you hitting the kid. I think it's also her seeing some semblance of hope in her sister, right? Seeing how her sister reacts to the kid.
Because Kate could have taken that shot. I'm
Yes,
sorry.
we know Kate's good. We know she's good.
Yeah, bro. She did made the shot. Let's be real.
I mean, she shot a finger. That's how good she
Come
is.
on.
But again, this show deals in gray areas, and you get the scene where
Pun.
Kate asks Vi to join the enforcers, and Vi's like,
Hmm.
"Wait, what? These people
Like
that killed my family?
no.
No." But again, life isn't so black and white. Circumstances allow, made she joins it. What do you think of Vi and her narrative?
Like a full U-turn, right? And I guess Vi's an interesting one as well, right? Because she's done some time in jail, right, for a couple years. um she's back out, and I guess, deep down she is a good person, right? Like, one of those enforcers says to
Yeah,
her.
yeah.
But she's just also dealing with her own trauma as well, right? She feels like, let me continue my Batman analogy, if you allow me. She's like the Nightwing in this in this story ish, right? She's like the Dick Grayson of just like, she needs some steering in the right way to do the right thing, but she she's always going to, quote unquote, make the right choice, if she's put in that position, I feel, right? But I feel like she doesn't know what that right choice is.
Mhm.
Right? I feel like that's where she's struggling a bit.
But I think also part of that struggle is that she doesn't want to be in this position. She doesn't want to be
Yeah.
involved. She doesn't want any
Yeah.
of this, right?
Yeah.
If it had her way, her and her sister would just go off somewhere else,
Yep.
right? And she's just pulled into this thing, pulled into the forefront of all this stuff again. Like she didn't
Mhm.
want to be part of the enforcers, but
Mhm.
she has to be part of that because of what's happening. She can't
Mm.
ignore it.
Yeah.
She's one of those kind of hero type characters that
Reluctant
doesn't.
hero.
Yeah, exactly, doesn't want it, and it's just there because of family. But at the same time, I think part of her, again, obviously characters can't be perfect and they have to have some kind of character faults. Even the characters you root for, I think part of her character fault by design is that she doesn't want change, right? She
Yeah,
wants
she
things to
moves
be.
further to Caitlyn, right? She's
Yeah,
like,
yeah. He asks,
don't
please don't
change.
change. Everyone has a change, and sometimes what
It's
her
like,
problem is.
ma'am. Girl.
But the problem is because she doesn't want change, she doesn't notice the change. So the
Mm.
same way she didn't notice change in her sister, I feel
Yeah.
like she's not noticing the change in Caitlyn
Yeah.
because Caitlyn's going through some changes herself.
Caitlyn is like proper Sith candidate. Now we're going Star Wars, right? Like by the end of the act, I was like, salute
Uh-huh.
Captain Kate. Like,
Right?
I will stand with you, Wakanda forever.
She go, I am a decorated officer, leader of House Kerriman. Address me with respect or keep your mouth shut. Oh, I'm
Like,
sorry.
Uh, Sorry, we should have seen the beret or the the white cap you came in with. That was a clear indication that you are somebody to listen to. No,
Right.
I like her growth too, right?
Mhm.
Just because we're seeing her having to deal with the grief of losing her mother,
Mhm.
the all of a sudden increased responsibility, um, and again, I think I really like
But
this
people
tale.
doubting her with that responsibility,
Yeah,
right?
of course, and maybe maybe I would say her doubting herself, but not like her skills. Right, I think
Yeah.
she knows her own skill, but just doubting that maybe she has the capacity or or the strength, whatever that means, right, to accomplish what we sometimes we have these like views that our parents held weights that almost were heavier than they were. They did. Don't get me wrong. Parent like raising kids, getting us all up to to go to school and all that. Like that's not easy. But I feel like you also kind of get to the point where it realized that okay, and now it's my turn. This is Kate. Like I have the key to the castle. Just got to do it right
Mhm.
because she has to change. She has to kind of be on this one track mind, and I love how she she basically ends up in like a John Wick esque like character by the end of it, right? Like she's no longer indecisive. She goes from indecisive to now let's go smoke them out right now.
Which again, I like her character narrative because it doesn't start off. It could have easily have gone, "These motherfuckers killed my mom. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, I'm going crazy on everybody." She, as much as she
Not
does
really.
have elements of "let me just react," she
Mm-hmm.
still battles with the idea, especially through Vi, where it's just like, you know, the anger in me, yes, can escalate all of this,
Yeah.
but also it's not your fault that your sister did this.
Yeah.
And it's also not the fault of the people of Zaun that this happened. So it's like that kind of, do I take revenge out on everybody because of the act of one person? Which again, I love that the narrative plays into that because as the council are like, we shall not retaliate on all of them because of one person, but we shall bring peace. Boom, another attack.
Another attack. It's like, oh my, it's like, come on, man. Like, give peace a chance.
Right. And even Caitlin says, now I understand why it's so easy to hate them.
hmm
You know,
which was deep, right? Coming
it's
from from quote unquote upstanding character individual like her, right?
uh
So like how much more a lesser individual?
again, okay, one thing I want to touch on. This show does outside, we talked about the animation, talked about the set pieces. This season specifically, and unless I'm misremembering from season one, but this season I'm more aware of the use of music fantastically well. Like
Yeah,
not just the music, but even the lyrics to the
yeah.
music, right? Using these lyrics that kind of play on. And there's one song that plays when they attack the underground, and it talks about like what are you gonna excuses you're gonna tell yourself to do these acts, right? Like
hmm
her using the ventilation system
Yeah,
against these people to
mm,
flood them out because of one person. You're
yeah.
justifying all these acts and like, well, this is good, right? I can
Mm,
do this, right,
I
right,
can do
right.
this. It's for the good reason, for
For
the
the greater
cause.
good, for the
Mm,
greater cause. And she's going down that path, which is like you said, is open the door for the Sith style manipulation
Mm-hmm.
by Ambessa. Holy shit, did you see that coming? Ambessa orchestrated the attacks. What the
I think my wife called it. I didn't. Like from the first sighting, she knew. First of all, like she is the queen of Wakanda. That
Can I tell
that's
you,
her. Like, please tell
her
me.
her, her hairstyling, some of the best I've seen for black people hair in
Top tier.
animation.
Like
Like people,
fantastic.
a lot of animation doesn't take the time to do the
Mm.
intricate detail of black hair. It's
Mm-hmm.
usually just
Mm-hmm.
afro or a fade. But this was like some
They
like
got
Leia
it all.
Organa shit.
Mm. Yeah, right. Oh, she so majestic. Even and then
Right?
seeing her in that
Right?
mask piece, that gold thing. Oh,
So
I
good.
see some. They should. I wish they release this pre-Halloween, but it's all right. Next year we'll go again.
But
But
even
she's so
black
strong.
characters in the show, like you see black character in the background, the way they
Mm-hmm.
details and like again,
Like
black hair.
Echo, for example.
Yes, Echo, Mel,
hmm
and again other background characters. Like drawing like braided hair can't be easy, but I love that they take
No,
the time to do
it
it.
must
So
actually
good,
be difficult for sure.
so good.
And so shout out all the animators putting that extra effort.
Right, right. That's why we don't get 5 seasons because it's like, all right, that's it. We get so much
And once
detail.
again, third time I've said it now, normalize releasing a set, story that you can put your heart into and put the budget
Hmm.
into, then
Hmm.
I know it's hard. It's very commercial driven capitalistic world, but you will get your returns. I swear.
And this is where speaking of Ambessa, this is where I talk about the fact that there's so many storylines happening, right? Because with Ambessa now there's this other storyline where she's had this deal that went wrong with the Black Rose Cabal, and that
Hmm.
seems to be her motivating her actions now. And but that seems like such a separate storyline to the main storyline.
And I wonder, are we not gonna have spin-offs? I mean, I know we're I know we're any arcane, but maybe
Yeah,
we then get,
yeah, yeah,
Ambessa and the Queen Rose Army.
yeah, yeah,
Season
yeah,
one, like I don't know, because you're so right, and I feel like it's definitely football analogy, but like edge of your seat stuff,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like it's almost hard to keep track because you're like there's way too much happening. Like
Mm.
how's rebuilding the city going, by the way?
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. And then, not to speak of the power vacuum since what's the name, um, Silco died.
Silco, yeah,
You
which
know, so
yeah, what's his name, Smeagol, and the
Smeech,
rest are back.
Smeech. But that's another thing again. The power vacuum with all those barons. That scene where they're all talking about
Mhm.
working together by Sevica. I don't know any of them. And I feel like it'd be better if I kind of knew their dynamic. It tries to tell me the dynamic in that scene when one of them's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I only protect my own," and blah 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 and all that stuff. But I feel like that's another extra storyline that I'd like to get into
So like just flesh it out a
more.
little bit,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah, just
yeah.
so I can care or have more weight towards my feelings about these characters, right?
Yeah, exactly, exactly, exactly. But again, I'm interested to see where it goes. I'm just not sure where it's going because of all these kind of connected storylines. And again, do you have a main storyline that's building up underground, which is, and I think it's connected to Victor and his new body and this kind of
Mm-hmm.
Messiah style
Yeah,
story
so that's the Messiah.
with Jace, Heimerdinger and Echo discovering the corruption that's happening
The
with
little
the Hextech.
Inception like scene was fantastic.
So like they've been playing around with this magic stuff, but when you play around with magic, there's cause and effect. It's
Magic
like
plays with you too. Yeah, yeah,
and
that's the truth.
they're discovering that. And I love the back and forth, right? As they're discovering this, and then also the fight that's happening with Vi and Jinx and Kate and
Caitlin and
Savika.
Savika.
I love that's glitching everything, and they're not even fully aware what's going on. They're just like so raw
Which
into the
is
fight.
wild though. It's wild that it affects every single piece of hex core out there, right? Like it's not or like hex core driven tech. It's not like that's more than Bluetooth or wireless connections.
Yeah, well, because it's the hextech. It's basically using magic, right?
Yeah.
It's trying to control magic, and you can't control magic. And I feel like that's the bigger narrative that's building up. That's going to kind of like unifying narrative, right? Like while we're
Well,
all
don't
fighting all
don't
this stuff,
control. Yeah.
while we're all fighting, there's this bigger issue that's happening that's going to affect all of us, right? Um, I liked the sequence where Jinx sets up the gas to push out into the main area because you think it's going to be some kind of deadly explosion thing, but it's just more like a fireworks display for the people of Zaun. They're like, "Oh yay, look, it's
Yeah.
great!" While the people on Piltover are like, "Oh my god, we're being attacked! What the hell's going on?"
I love the stock difference.
Right, and again, that stark difference. This is what the people in the underground live with every day. Right, when you see Victor walking around, you're just seeing how these people have been affected in this area, and I think that kind of social divide. I like when you kind of when we're shown this. Right, where do you think
Yeah.
Victor's storyline is going with Victor? He wanted to die. He didn't want the hex tech to be used like this.
Mm-hmm. And like I almost felt for Jace when he left, right? Because it's almost like, bro, I brought you back from the dead, and it's like, yeah, but I didn't ask, like, like,
Yeah,
okay. um, his story is interesting, right? I like that he has such a key and pivotal power, to help heal people who've been afflicted for whatever reason.
but he
Um,
seems to be against the misuse of this hex tech, right?
yes,
Even though he wanted it at first from season one, but he's realized
yeah,
maybe not.
yeah. So it's like scientists turned religious. Well, he's not religious. Sorry, I'm trying to not be unfair to him, right? He
No,
because
not
he's
necessarily
not
religion.
he is not pushing any sort of come to the
No,
light, right?
no, 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 no,
It's
no.
more like, hey, y'all don't have to be in pain anymore,
Let me help you.
right?
Well,
So I guess I just wonder because at some point he's going to have to make new decisions. Let me just put it
mhm,
like
mhm,
that, and I'm
mhm,
curious to see where that's going to go. I'm not trying to even guess or say what he's going to do with that power, but it's there's a lot that could happen with
mhm,
somebody
mhm,
with that kind of power and following.
mhm, mhm, mhm. Well, also we don't know what's being set up. Every episode so far has been giving us an end credit scene that seems to be connected. Somebody is doing something and creating something, some kind of
Yeah,
creature.
super
I'm, cu-
creature,
I'm curious using the one of the wolves and
wolf.
stuff like that. I'm curious where that's going. Again, this could be another a third party that's going to disrupt everything. While everyone is fighting. I always like it when a third party comes in and disrupts everything. I always think that's
Same, which I'm expecting.
yes.
Seriously, honestly, maybe I'll throw it out there. Maybe even a fourth, because I'm expecting a third, like human
Mhm,
or whatever entity,
mhm,
right?
mhm,
But then they're still dealing with the planet and the magic, trying to
mhm,
trying to consume those, trying to control it, right? So I feel
mhm,
like it may end up as like a multifaceted Royal Rumble type of fight in a sense, right? And you
mhm.
kind of pick your sides and maybe group together, and then it's almost like as soon as you defeat one enemy, then you face the next one
Yeah, 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 yeah.
until the last few people are standing. Because honestly, I'm expecting a few bodies by the end of
Mhm,
this,
mhm.
right? I'm
Of
not
course.
expecting I'm going to say maybe like 40% of everybody to be remaining. Let's go with that. I think that's fair.
Let's talk favorite moments. We'll go back and forth. One of my favorite moments is the opening to episodes 1 and 2, I believe. No,
Hmm.
episodes 1 and 3, I believe. Like little montages. So episode 1 gives us the montage of the funeral. And I
Yeah.
loved how they do the visual, with everything in black and white except for Caitlin and certain characters in color. I thought it was brilliantly done. And then
Yeah.
the opening of episode 3, when they attack the underground, we just seen the animation of all
Mhm.
that happening. I love the show. That it reminds me of also like Spider-Verse movies where they utilize animation in really cool creative ways, not
Mhm.
necessarily realistic ways. They have like splashes of color and text and
Yeah.
bam and things like that. I thought every time I see moments like that, I think they do a very, very good job. Any moments that you like back and forth? I have so many.
Back and forth. Yeah, no, let me go next if I forget. When Vi was holding Jace's hammer and trying to get it going, and then
Oh
Jace
yes.
helped her and they grabbed it, and then she charged and fired, and like they weren't even the ones
No,
that killed the man.
I'm
it,
Bessa. Like,
it was like after all of that, and Beth was still like, yeah. Anyways, Wakanda forever. I don't know why I love moments like that in the shows where it just makes things feel more realistic in a sense, right? Like it's not
Mhm.
just because you got your fancy hammer ready does not mean that you're about to win this fight. Lord knows you might have even missed, but yeah, shout out Mbessa, man. Her entry to that was just
Which
brutal.
again, which one they do a good job of building the tension in that
Mm-hmm.
moment where it's like dun dun dun, dun, you're like oh
And then
shit, and
like
then it happens and you're like yeah, Ambessa saves the day, and then later on you realize she's the one that sets it all up.
you're like
Damn it! And then she even kills the chainsaw person, right? To shut them up, which I thought that was
yes,
great. That person with chainsaw,
yeah, the
great.
green, the
Yeah, yeah,
neon,
yeah, yeah. I thought that was great.
neon song.
Those kind of jacked up chem guys in the suits.
It's
Thought
like
great,
mini
great fight.
Banes.
Right.
All right,
um.
next moment from you.
Oh, I loved when the whole sequence when um Jinx gives Sevica the arm, like
Yeah, oh
throw
yes, the first
throws
time.
throws her the arm, shoots the guy behind her. Sevka gets the arm, and I love the arm's like a slot machine. You don't know what's going to happen. It's just
it's
gonna do a
it's so,
different thing.
so on brand.
Right, right. And then what did she say? I wrote it down. Damn it. Oh yeah, because earlier on, Smeech had said to Sevica, this is the only offer I'll make you. And then later on, she's like, you forgot, you already made your
Yeah,
last
even
offer.
that's
I was like,
offer.
yeah. Or
Get
when
up.
she says, tell me, Smeech, who's a funny looking rat now? I was like, yeah.
And Smith had some random one-liners. I know he had a line about a bird without wings is just an
Yeah,
ugly rat.
yeah, but that's what she was calling back to, right?
Yeah, I know. It just
I love that.
I'm just like I appreciate the I heard you. Oh,
Yeah,
you think
yeah.
I didn't give you? Yeah. Ah.
No, and I love how, like, not for anything, as crazy as she is, Jinx is so smooth in her fights. The way she like moves and twists and turns and dodges, she's so cool. Like just
Yeah.
shooting, not in no look shots and things like that. Like I love, like even the fake out when she's fighting the guy, the fake out the smoke bomb, and the guy's like, phew,
Yeah.
shot in the head.
Yeah, like she's almost like a I don't know, an aggressive Jack Sparrow.
Yeah, right,
Like
right. What other moments? I'm going through my list. Anything else you like that stood out?
um there were a few Echo. I don't want to
Yes, yes, yes.
not discuss Echo. I feel like he's it's like the closest of who I would say me in this world is. I feel like sometimes he speaks and I'm like, yeah, that that is a good question. All right. And even making Jace realize, he showed me more about how Jace doesn't even realize that he's disconnected from
Mhm.
the society almost, right? Like
Especially the
he,
lower people in the lower class.
specifically the people in lower class
Mhm,
and the effects of all of every decision has a domino effect in life.
mhm, mhm,
Whether you trace it or whether you see what the output is does not affect if it's going to happen or not. And
mhm,
Jace has not been considering any of it, right? And
mhm,
I feel like Echo is just there to call him out. And I like this little tag team they have now. Two of them
mhm.
and little rat scientists are.
When
Yeah.
Heimerdinger's like, "Oh yeah, his secret home is in this place." It's like, "Shut the fuck up,
Yeah.
shut up."
Hey, Heimlich, do you mind?
And he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry,
Uh,
that's not a secret location. Shut up."
so
Shut up.
good. So
Uh,
yeah, right, Echo. I don't know. I'm curious again as to what his story is going to lead to. Like with most characters, but I feel like him to a certain degree because he's close to. I feel like you're close to Jace. You're close to being near the center of this whirlpool,
both
whatever that
Vi and
whirlpool is going to
Jinx,
be.
he's known
Yeah,
them since he was a kid as well.
yeah.
Yeah. I liked when Jinx and Vi were fighting, and then like Vi rips Jinx's gun too. I was like, "Oh shit, showing the
Like
power."
oh.
And I like the moment where Kate says to Vi, "I should have seen this coming. It's her blood in your veins." And then Vi says, "Then why are you the one acting like her?" I was like,
Oof, oof,
"Yeah,
oof.
yeah, yeah."
Mm.
I also love the visual
Mhm.
when the Black Rose peeps come and they just like take
It's
over
just
the
like,
bodies.
and then it in the palm.
I was like,
It's-
"Oh," when they kidnap Mel, and it's like, "Alora, are you okay?"
yeah, yeah. That's like, but yeah, shout out Ambessa and her general, right?
Oh,
I
breaking
mean,
free.
yeah, I mean, it was after a few seconds, granted, but still, the fact that they could even be like, "No, no, you come here," even though I don't think that kill was real. I feel like that, she even said my death doesn't matter, right?
Yeah,
Or
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's
That's
like,
probably like a host body,
yeah, it's like,
you know.
but still, shout out the skills.
That's true. That's true. It just turns around, stabs her.
She's
I
like,
was like, yeah, because that's the
yeah.
thing. That's the fake out, right? Because that scene, I was like, yeah, I'm with Team Ambessa. And realized, oh no, she's the bad guy. Damn it,
Like, oh
Ambessa.
my gosh, come on, Ambessa. Like,
Oh,
yeah.
I-
But I'm like, all right, but let's see where this goes for a little bit. Just for a little bit.
There's so much that happens in this episode. I probably missed out a couple of things. But again, I think this show is fantastic. I'm curious to see where it goes. I like the politics of it all, even though I need to do some research and go deeper. I've never played the League of Legends games. I
Me
want to
me
now.
me neither. I just they're really, really tempting me, and I guess that's just the sign of a good show, right?
Right,
Because
right.
I,
But
I
also,
I truly don't want to.
but I also think this show is just on a technical level made really well. Like
Mhm.
again, I can't get over the editing techniques they use, the really frantic
Even like,
dynamic.
yeah, it's like so many different animation styles in
So
one.
many, so many.
It's the visuals, like when those the guys with the green slashes.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Just
It,
each of their swipes and slashes was just so beautifully stroked.
mm-hmm. Just want to watch everything, all the little things that happen and the flashes. Like you get like a
Mhm,
flash, or even the sequence where Jinx is building the arm,
mhm.
rebuilding the boxing
Yeah,
machine. Just like the little
yeah.
quick, we get quick like
Vice boxing
montage,
machine. Yeah.
right? Just little moments like that. I just like.
Which
I'm
was
like, man,
funny thematically, right? That she
yes,
was breaking down her sister's old
hmm
equipment essentially
to
to
give to her,
rebuild something sinister, to give to her
right?
new fake sister. The motifs in this, I feel like this might be a show where, after it finishes and maybe some time has passed and people have drawn the connections, I then go back and watch from season one, right? Now knowing more of the side characters and the world,
Mhm,
and maybe appreciate even more.
mhm, 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 mhm. I really like the new opening intro. A lot of you can tell there's a lot of storyline happening there. Character moments, just little things like Vi sitting down and Jinx standing up, more of a focus. So I like the intro. I liked in the episode, one of the episodes when Officer Nolan finds Vi and he's like, Vi. She's like, "How do you know my name? It's written on your face."
It's on your face, like,
Like, come on.
like literally. Uh,
Anything
um,
else?
the the scene just at the end of episode 3, just the gray and the colored smoke just popping through the city. It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
just so it was so beautifully sinister, right? Like, again, it felt like a Gotham Joker
Yes, yes.
attack. Right, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
his would probably be all green. It wouldn't be as colorful, maybe.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
Or,
but
or was Batman Begins Riddler? Not Riddler.
Raz, not Raz Al Ghul.
No, no. Scarecrow when he
Oh,
put his
Scarecrow.
gas.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
sorry. In
yeah, yeah,
the yeah, and
yeah,
then
yeah,
it was white smoke popping out
yeah, yeah,
everywhere.
yeah, yeah,
Exactly, similar. Um, but yeah, no, I love that scene, especially how Jinx was like, not like this, right? Or what did she say? I
yeah,
forgot what
yeah,
she
yeah.
said precisely. Where she was just like, oh,
Which again is like it wasn't supposed to happen like this. Again, it shows
yeah,
you. Did she really want to kill her sister? Because even there was a moment in I think episode 2 where she had a clean shot on her sister. She's crying, guns right there. Sister can't even see
yeah,
her, and she
yeah.
doesn't take the shot. So it's like there's still
Like you
powder
said,
still in there.
powder
She's
is clawing her way back.
all right. There's one part I liked. Oh my goodness, when Jinx is getting away and she get clotheslined. I was like, oh shit,
Yeah,
that
right.
was a powerful
Just like,
clothesline.
damn.
I was like, oh
Like,
shit.
might have knocked out some teeth.
Right, right. But I always forget that like you said earlier, because she was at the brink of death, she's like being enhanced.
Juiced up.
Yeah, yeah. I always
What's
remember
the
that.
thing called? I forgot it.
It's just
The there's a name for the thing they inject them.
yes,
No, the thing they smoke.
well,
No,
there's
with an
two
S.
different there's two different ones, right?
Yeah.
There's Chemtech
Yes.
and there's Hextech.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But
But I think I'm not sure what the green smoke is in the Chemtech.
that's the thing I'm not sure
Yeah,
specifically
yeah,
because
yeah.
I'm pretty sure she's had a few vials of something
But
of
also, it feels like because of living in that area, the people of Zaun are like almost slightly immune to it. And I wonder if that's
like
going to have,
resistant
yeah,
to
yeah.
COVID.
So I wonder if that's going to
Sorry.
have like a play later on in the narrative, right? Where they're more resistant than the people who live.
To this new smoke.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, we shall find out. What do you
Nuts.
nerdies think?
Thank.
Anything else before we close out?
It's Mr. Gray, League of Villains, Jinx, Watch It All Burn, Victor's Bionic Man, Edmund Carter, Season 1, Father's Responsible. You know, things. A line I loved was when Caitlyn asked Vi to wear the police badge, and Caitlyn was like, "I thought you were on our side," and Vi
Mm.
said, "You don't think at all."
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't think at all, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was
I love
like,
that.
"Damn, girl!" I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"She." That was a bit harsh. I mean,
I mean, yeah, but it's like you want me to
but
join the people that killed my family?
yeah, you did think that through at all, Caitlin. Come on, come on, girl. Um, yeah, you're a Kierman,
Mhm.
Caitlin Kierman.
I think that's it. I think so. We got until next
So,
episode.
so,
What do you nerdies think of the opening of season 2, the first act? let us know. Find us on social media at The Nerdy Bunch, or you can also find us via email, thenerdybunchpodcast@gmail.com. If you enjoyed this review and any of our reviews, please give us a thumbs up, star, or share, whatever you need to do on your various platforms to give us awareness. We really appreciate that. Check out some of our other reviews. We have season finales coming up for both Penguin and Agatha all along, as well as new shows, Silo and Dune Prophecy. So check those shows out and check our thoughts out. So much to watch. Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you, David.
My name's English Dave, and this has been a Nerdy Bunch review for Arcane Season 2, Act 1. And as always, Andrew,
keep it nerdy.
Peace.